All right, Shalom. It's the brother Kashkwala coming back at you with a lesson in the spirit, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone to rule and teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, so this lesson is going to be pertained around what you can see on this article here. It says at least 33 Americans killed in the Israel in that group's name war that we're not affiliated with. Secretary of State tells UN. So, so right here, I'm gonna read this little script right here. If I can zoom in, it says Israeli forces have escalated their bombardment of the Gaza Strip as they war with that group enters its 18th day. The war is now the deadliest war in Gaza for both sides. That group-run health ministry claims at least 5,000 Palestinians have been killed, 15,000 wounded, more than 1,400 Israelis have been killed since the October 7th surprise attack by that group, in which 222 people, including foreigners, are taken captive. They say 4 have been released. So the reason I'm bringing this out is because first, America, it shows that 33 Americans died on that soil. So that should institute automatic like declaration of war since you killed part of the American population. The next thing it shows is the lack of action that's being done because you could see Biden on the beach just not too long ago in a time of war, relaxing. That America really doesn't care about these Americans. Okay. And they're not trying to get into the conflict as quick, but that's against what the scriptures say is going to happen. America's going to enter into this war. They're going to find themselves in the valley of Jehoshaphat. So that's where we're going to get right now. So this Joel chapter 3:9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Okay. So Babylon being a great country and its mighty warriors. All right. As you can see I think it was on 60 Minutes that Biden was like, look, we have the greatest army in the world and we're not worried about anything. We can solve any of the problems, blah, blah, blah. You're still hesitating to go over to there because you elite of you Edomites understand to an extent these prophecies that are going to come to pass. All right. And it's designated that your pasty white pale asses are going to take you, find yourself over there in the Middle East in this conflict. I'm telling you the plans that you're going to do. The details of them, well, I may not know. We'll see things later on down the road. But the end all be all, your pasty white ass, you're going to have to put some damn sunscreen on and take your ass to the Middle East and get demolished. Okay? Because that's what's going to happen. So proclaim ye among the Gentiles. Prepare war. So the Gentiles, these heathens, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men draw near. Let them come up. Verse 10 says, beat your plowshares. Salakia. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Right. That goes into another thing. Hold on. One moment, please. All right. I'm trying to find. There you go. Here's a good one. Let me airdrop it here. All right. So it says another target of the GOP spending cuts, new renewables for farmers. So a budget proposal in the House could roll back billions for rural clean energy. So when Trump was in office, it was a big gouge in the spending for cultural spending. And where did they take that budget cut and put it? They put it straight to the military and beefing up the military. So environmental groups have been clamoring for Congress to make this year's farm bill the next big climate law. It says with more funding, climate advocates say farmers could cut greenhouse gas emissions by strong carbon in soil, curbing nitrogen fertilizer use, and planting trees. All right, so pretty much what they're doing is trying to save energy and things of that nature, but the government just cut spending in agricultural spending. Okay, so when you go to this script where it says beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, these are agricultural type um, utensils. I don't know if that's a word, but tools, that's better, that are used for, tilling the earth and things of that nature. And they're building them into weapons. And this goes to show you with what I just pulled out how this prophecy is coming to pass. Every nation is beefing up their military, preparing for this war. So it says, let the weak say, I am strong. Okay, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, including you Americans. Okay, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Right. And really what's causing the mighty ones to come down is the state of Israel. The scriptures say it, the least of them shall draw them out. Okay? It says the least of them shall draw them out. And who are they drawing out right now? America, these bigwigs, you could say. These bigwigs, you could say. So, Russia, America, China, the BRICS nations pretty much. Matter of fact, I should just go ahead and get that real quick. What was that, Jeremiah 49? The least of them. Jeremiah 49:20 says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom in his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and the least of the flock are these Amalekites, which are pursuing this group over in the Palestinian area. And ultimately, this is the conclusion, or their last phase of establishing the Balfour Declaration, dating all the way back in 1917. Okay, the second phase was 1948, and now we're entering the third phase, and all these phases included a world war. So we're entering to the third world war as we speak. So this is the third phase in them fully establishing. Now, as you can see over the years, the Palestinian population has dwindled out of that land. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So they can paint the picture that they are those chosen people and that's the land that they're in. But still, it doesn't make sense, because if they are the people, then why is there war? And why are you initiating it? It goes to show you that they're really not the people. Now, Jeremiah 49:20 is gonna draw everyone out, including these Americans. All right, and who else is gonna draw out? Gog and Magog. Okay, Gog and Magog, which when you look, um, they're actually what? They're actually the Russians. Okay, when you look at it on a geographical scale. So let me get this precept real quick. If I can find it here in Revelation 16 and 12, it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Now, just to simply put it in directions, if you look at a map, you can even say a world map. All right, let's just look at a map of like Europe. If you take your right hand and go to the right, of course, the right is the east. All right, the left is the west. If you're looking straight at the map, all right, all right. So when you look at a matter of fact, let's just pull up a European map. Map of Europe. Okay. Map of Europe and Asia. That's what I want, motherfucker. Okay. So here we go. Soft. I don't want Amazon. Go to images. I think this is this is a good image right here. Let me zoom in right there. Okay. So here's a map of Europe and Asia. And up there in Russia would be considered Eurasia, because that whole continent over here. Matter of fact, I don't think this is good. I want all of that. Okay. Yeah, let's get all of this. Let's do this one. This one's better. That gets Europe, that gets everything. That's called Eurasia. All of this is Asia. That's a continent. Okay. So when you go to the right hand side, okay, that is the kings of the east. So this little strip right over here, which you can see, is Israel, which is being prophesied in Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "The least of the flock shall draw them out." I'm speaking about this little part right there. Simple. Okay. And it says what? That the matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 16 again. It says what? "And the sixth angel poured out of his vial upon the great river Euphrates." So, map of river Euphrates. No, I probably totally spelled that wrong. All right. So as you can see, Israel's right here. Okay, "The least of them shall draw them out." You see where it's pointing at the Gaza Strip right there? That's where the bombings and the war and stuff is going on. And it says what? The Euphrates is right here. And when you do research on the river Euphrates as of right now, it's drying up significantly fast right now, literally. Okay? So it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." All right, so this is drawing up. And like I was saying earlier, what? Okay? When you're looking at this map head on, and your right hand is the east. So everything of the east side of the Euphrates includes China, Iran, Afghanistan, India. Okay, they mainly want Iran and shit. But Iran, see, right over here is Euphrates, right there. Iran, China, India, and Russia. Those are the kings of the east that the least of the flock is trying to draw in. So I hope that's understandable when it says, "And the angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." It's perfect. This is a perfect lineup. All right. So this is understanding Jeremiah 49 and 20 better, and who the least of the flock is. And we can see who the least of the flock is Even their land is the least of all of them, but they're causing such a big commotion that it's riling up these nations to prepare for the battle. You see how all these prophecies link up to one another. One thing happens and it intensifies another prophecy to get these over. You see what the Lord is doing in all these gameplays. Okay, Jeremiah 49 and 20, Revelation 16 and 12, Joel 3 is all a game plan for the big shebang, which is spoken of in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, which I highly suggest you go read. Okay, so let's keep reading Joel 3. I hope you understand Jeremiah 49, Revelation 16 and 12 on how this war is opening up doors for these bigger countries to come in, including America. Okay, so it says, so we understand beating the plowshares and the swords and the pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. The weak saying I'm strong are more so like the BRICS nations linking up. China, South America, or Brazil, China, Brazil, South Africa, Russia, and Iran, okay? You put all those together, it spells BRICS. BRICS. All right, B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for Iran, C for China, and S for South Africa. Okay? And a lot more nations have, like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, a few other countries have added on to that list of the BRICS nations, really, who all hate the whore, which we're going to read about a little bit. Well, no, actually, we're just going to Babylon the Great, which we're going to read about here soon in Revelation 18, and ultimately what Babylon the Great demise, what their demise is. So we understand verse 10, Joel 3 and 11, assemble yourselves. We understand verse 11, showing, we broke that down in Jeremiah 49 and Revelation 16, showing how all these nations are going to gather together and assemble themselves round about. Okay. Verse 12 says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And that takes us back to this map. The valley of Jehoshaphat is right here. Where's the war going on? All right. The Gulf War. Let's go all the way back to 1990. Where was the Gulf War at? Over here. In the Middle East, Afghanistan. The war on terrorism. Iraq, Afghanistan. Okay. Who are they trying to draw in? Iran. Okay. What was another war going on up here in Ukraine? Turkey had some issues. Okay. These are wars going on in this area. Syria, all these things. Shit, Yemen is in a civil war at the moment. Okay. All this area, this is the middle of the planet, the Middle East. East is on the right hand side, like I mentioned. Okay. All right. So they're going to come up in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which the word Jehoshaphat in Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment or Yahweh's decision, which again, that ties in. You take Joel 3 and 12, and the details of Joel 3 and 12 are mentioned in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, when Yahweh Shai comes back and destroys all of these nations that have gathered themselves up in this valley. It says, for there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. Exactly. Okay, he's going to judge the heathens round about, and they're going to get there. Okay, and America is going to be drawn in there because of its, little whatever brother, the Amalekites. Go read about Esau's generations in Genesis, the 36th chapter, which I may do a lesson on, so we can understand more in depth Jeremiah 49 and the least of the flock, which is really talking about them hook noses over there. Okay, so let's go to Revelation 18 and 2 and see the end all be all for America when they do enter into this war. Okay, so Revelation 18 and 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Babylon the Great, aka America today. If you don't believe that is the case, then you explain to me who Babylon or what Babylon the Great is, because it's not going to make sense. Okay? It says Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. Okay? Babylon the Great is fallen, All right? And how is that fall or the demise going to happen? The moment they truly step into this war is when the exclamation point or the exclamation mark is going to be stamped on the world, which is going to be the climactic point of World War III, which ultimately is the nuclear missiles that are going to hit America. All right? That's what's going to happen. All of this is a domino effect that's going to happen at the same time. Yahushua is going to crack the skies. He's going to judge those heathens, which we read about in Joel, simultaneously as the missiles launch over to this wicked ass land called America, and it's going to destroy it. And that's when we're going to hear that voice come up hither, Lord willing, we be a part of that number and get beamed up into a chariot. That's why it's pivotal to do this work and break these prophecies down so the people can understand. All right, and when I say the people, that means the elect. Okay, so Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Till the next time, say shalom. And like always, repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believed. Shalom.